Hello, everybody, and welcome to Edusations. Very excited to have Rae and Jeff joining me here today. Let's go ahead and let's do some introductions for the viewers. Rae, you want to go first, and then Jeff follow suit?
Oh, gosh, he's just going to copy everything I say.
Ladies first, traditional.
I typically
hey,
just follow
my
Rae.
name's Rae. I'm currently a 6th grade math teacher in Central Illinois, mean old math teacher, and I'm the Director of Training and Development for the Teach Better team.
I'm Jeff Gargas, and I am the COO of the Teach Better team, one of the co-founders, and this is the story of my life. I follow Rae everywhere I can.
I mean, there's worse ways to live, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I can think of a few worse. Yeah.
So you're both involved in education, both very active in the Twitter sphere of education. What brought you? Let's start one. What brought you into education, and then two, what brought you to the Teach Better team? And we can go, Jeff. You can go first this time. The way Rae can copy you.
Sure. Yeah. So I have a unique, I guess, a weird story of how I got into education, because I'm actually a 3-time college dropout. I did finagle my way into teaching at Kent State University for a couple of years. It was an elective course that was connected to music industry because of my background's there, which is actually how I ended up into education, was through that. For those of you who know who Chad Ostrowski is, he's the creator of the grid method, which is one of the systems that we train on and kind of got this whole thing started. He and I knew each other from the days of when I had a record label and managed his band. And when his idea and this system started taking off, and he wanted to put some things together and share it with people, he came to me because I have a background in online marketing and media. And the rest is history, as they say, I guess. And we tricked Rae into working with us, and been awesome ever since. So I do a lot of the sort of back end, quote unquote, pieces of the business, making sure we're running and operating. And I'm lucky enough to get out and get to go to schools and do training with teachers and see awesome classrooms and stuff too. But I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff as well. So cool. And I get to co-host the podcast with Rae as well. So it's a good time.
Yeah, I love it. How about you, Rae?
Gosh, I mean, how long do we have? Those are two weighted questions. How did I get into education and then the Teach Better team? I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, north suburbs, and I grew up in an amazing family, workaholic parents who were essentially networking for a living. They were very successful, still are. And I really struggled in school. I really didn't like school. I had an IEP. I would do everything possible if I could just not read. I just hated reading. Mm-hmm. And when it finally came to figuring out what I wanted to do for a living, I wasn't even sure I'd get into college, to be quite honest with you. And but at the time I was teaching a dance class, and I love teaching dance because there's a few perks there, right? You're like the smartest one in the room because you're teaching ballet to like 2nd graders. And I loved the family component that our dance studio at the time really brought in. That was a huge focus for them. So I had this mission that I was going to go in to be a teacher, and I could teach dance forever, and I was going to love it. And then I got into Illinois State University, started in their middle level program. That was the age I was kind of working with that I really enjoyed, that middle school age, and decided, hey, dance would be too easy. I'm going to go and change the students' experience in math. I hated math. And how could I bring in, some fun into a math class? Nice. I actually was extremely influenced by my parents and their business background, and they continued to emphasize how they felt like academia needed some sort of bridge then to the real world. And so I actually took that idea, brought it into my classroom my first few years teaching, and created the Teach Further model, which is a system that allows students to or teachers to develop themed internships, all sponsored by local businesses, to really immerse their students in the why behind their learning.
That's awesome.
So it's so fun. I love it. I couldn't believe that in my first year teaching, I set up 25 different themed internships, all sponsored by local businesses who are now becoming, invested in my students, which it was just incredible to see. And as a new teacher, I loved having the support, let's be honest. And I moved schools a few years later and started my master's program. And one of the assignments I had to get my master's was that I had to log into Twitter. And I'm like, social media. Ugh. But I did it for the sake of the class. And I got little involved. I hosted Dave Burgess's TLAP chat. And no kidding, got a message from, at the time, it was called the Grid Method, which later was renamed the Teach Better team. And it was just, I don't know, Jeff, it was Amber, our social media director at the time, reached out and said, Rae, you do cool stuff. We should connect sometime. And I'm like, is this a sales pitch? Like, what's going on? Hold up. And then I got stuck with Jeff Gargas, and now I get to hang out with the Teach Better team all the time.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, Rae, I think it was in August, there was this video that you posted on Twitter about a kid that found out that he had you as a teacher, and it was his reaction to it. And watching that video made me smile simply because, he reads your name and you can tell he's excited, but he's a middle school kid, so he wants to save face and keep it cool. But he's like, yes.
That was, I'll save that video forever. That was epic. It's like the mom filming the opening of the letter, and that was pretty cool.
It was awesome. And so you both, you work for this Teach Better team, and I think it's in the name, but even casting broader strokes, what is the overarching mission? And again, I realize Teach Better, but what are some specific ways that you approach that vision, that you approach that idea of helping teachers teach better?
So I'll jump in. Yeah, so for the short, easy answer, and then I'll go on that, is that we really just want to help teachers teach better. And I think the important piece of that is that is not in the vein of that you are not teaching really awesome already, but we should all be striving to be better every single day. And that crosses over to life, by the way, as well. Yeah, we should always constantly be teaching better every single day, trying to be better. And educators that we meet all over the place, they're constantly trying to do it. You've got Mastery Chat sitting on there. We talk about it all the time, like on Thursday nights when we have all these teachers that come in and spend an hour with us chatting on Twitter after they've already worked a full day of God knows what they went into. Like, that is them actively, that is Teach Better. That's what that's all about. And so what we try to do is just, our mission is to support teachers in whatever way we can, to help them continuously be better for their students. And the ultimate goal then is for us, via those teachers, to reach more students and have a bigger impact on students and on the future. And we do that in a lot of ways. So we do obviously we do things like the Mastery Chat, and you mentioned the podcast Teach Better Talk, which is just another avenue for sharing stories and inspiration and ideas with educators and allowing them to connect with other amazing educators and their stories. Then we also do we do a lot of live professional development on just about anything you can imagine. Yes, we train on the Grid Method because we created it. Yes, we train on Teach Further because we created it. But we also do a ton of other training on any of the components of mastery learning, anything from standards-based grading to technology in the classroom to social media to all kinds of stuff. We're actually working on a thing, Rae and I, on podcasting with your students. I mean, you name it, we're creating some sort of training to try and give that content and those abilities to teachers. And we also have online courses at teachbetteracademy.com, which are the same type of thing. It's just trying to do whatever we can. And we have an awesome Facebook group, a community that's been growing and are in there that just help support each other. The ultimate goal is that we are just trying to help teachers be supported so that they can continue to try to do whatever they need to do in their specific circumstances to be better tomorrow than they were today. I mean, that's just what we're trying to do.
So let me ask a follow-up on this too. If a division or a district or just an individual school wants to contact you about training, overall, what's that session going to look like? There's a lot of PD sessions where people will just sit and get. Is that the framework, or what does active learning look like in your sessions?
Right.
Jeff, you got to let me jump in on this one.
I'm letting you jump in.
I'll say,
oh my gosh,
Rae then Jeff.
I know that Jeff has a ton to say on this. He gets to go to district trainings all the time, which, by the way, I'm jealous about. But, our entire Teach Better philosophy is about growth. And it's not just growth for our teachers, it's growth for our students. We want to be progressive. And so our professional development sessions can't be a sit and get. That's not how we are hoping for our teachers to teach, right? They're transitioning from experts to really like classroom facilitators and learning facilitators. So One of the favorite things I love that we are doing is that if you want to learn about the grid method, which, by the way, has changed my life, that mastery framework, we actually immerse you in it. Let's try one. Let's see, be a student in the classroom. What hurdles are you going through? As a teacher, how are we problem solving through those? And then come join the Facebook group where teachers across the world, that over 1,000 Facebook teachers, are sharing their grids and talking through their concerns. I mean,
awesome.
In 45 minutes, I'm going to go live in our private Facebook group and just talk, brainstorm, answer questions. I mean, it's so fun to be active in learning because that's what education is now.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeff, did you want to add anything to that?
The only thing I was going to add is that, Rae summed that up really good, just on sort of the technical side of things, that we do trainings that can range anywhere from like 60 to 90-minute sessions to hour and a half to, or obviously that's 90 minutes, up to 3 hour sessions to all-day workshops into even 2-day workshops.
I love the 2 days.
2 days are great because you get a lot of time to work, and we really focus on work times. So what we try to avoid is, hey, let's talk at you for 2 days, then you can go home and do a whole bunch of work. Right. We want them to walk out. So when people go through just specifically the grid method training, they're walking out with a grid. And when they go through a Teach Further training, they're walking out with a clear idea of the partnerships they're looking for. Maybe they've already made the calls with us and they're building those things, internships. We want them to walk out and be able to start implementing things. And then we actually go as far as doing actual, full building and or district implementation layouts. And that's either for the particular things that we train on, or any kind of initiative that a district or a building is trying to incorporate. We've found some really effective ways to do that, and we've seen some great results. So we are trying to help schools take that when they're trying to change the way their teachers are teaching to be better. It doesn't work if you do a training and then nothing happens after that, and there's no follow-up, there's no background. I always talk about, like, the worst thing that can happen is you sit through an awesome, whether it's a 3 hour, 1 day, 2 day, whatever, and you learn this new skill, this new idea, this new initiative, this new piece of tech, whatever, and you're super excited about it. You go back to your classroom, and then the 5,000 things that you have to deal with on a daily basis smack you in the face, and then maybe you run into a hurdle with that new piece, and you turn around and no one's there for you. You're gonna go back to working without it because it's the survival at that point. And so we really like to tell the admin team, hey, let us be that support piece. We want to be there for them when they turn around and they need that help, because that's how an initiative actually gets implemented to fruition, actually, with fidelity. So
right, yeah. I mean, I got excited just listening to that. That's awesome. It sounds like you revolutionized the process. That's great. And as a teacher, I can say being able to leave those sessions with something in hand, knowing I can use this, that's awesome. And you both have been mentioning the grid method again and again. I want to kind of help out our viewers here who might not be familiar with that. And so, Rae, I'm going to ask you, if give me like an elevator pitch for the grid method. Real quick, what is it? Why should more teachers be using it?
I was very resistant to the grid method when I first heard about it, because at the time I had already tried all these other self-paced things that exist in education, right? Flipped classroom, all that stuff. And so really what I love about the grid method is it's a mastery framework that's scaffolded using Webb's DOK. So it's all research-based and, using the backwards design to be able to design your elements of your lesson. But it's more than just a framework. And I think that was always the missing piece I needed. I am a good instructor. I can design rigorous lesson plans and I can connect them back to the standards. And while that is a part of the grid method, and it's a lot of the training component when you work through with a teacher using their own standards, my favorite part is that the implementation of it is also then a second step with the grid method. How do you actually facilitate a self-paced classroom? How do you ensure that students are getting what they need exactly when they need it? So there's this triage system that I love. I think that's what I talk about the most with the grid method, is while it is a mastery framework that students are able to move through their learning opportunities at their own pace, it's also has all these back pieces that as a teacher, I now feel supported and I know where all my students are. I use a color coding system that is on a Google Sheet. Students track their success the entire time. And then we end every single day with goal setting and reflection, which I always knew was the right thing to implement in your classroom, but I could never do it well. I could never put any fidelity into it because the students didn't buy into the concept. And if you go check out my Instagram story, I literally recorded my students today doing their end of day goal setting and reflecting. How did your work session go? What do you need? Who can help you get what you need? And then what's your goal for the next time you work on mathematics? In my class, I teach math. So it's been fascinating for me, not just to learn about a framework that a teacher could use to lesson plan, really to design an entire unit, but how does that then translate in a realistic, manageable way into the classroom? So that is my not so short elevator pitch, but it's
I was gonna say, I think we're going from 40 to 100.
Yeah,
I surveyed my students. I did a survey today, like this morning. I did a survey with my students, and the first thing they said that they loved about our classroom, that they wanted to keep in our classroom, was the grid method. I'm like,
that's awesome.
Okay. Yeah,
that's awesome. So Jeff, I'm listening to this. I'm a district. I'm a school leader, and I'm thinking, wow, I want to bring this team in to be able to do some PD with my school. What's the best way for somebody to be able to sign up and get you guys to come and do work with them?
Just email us. I mean, that's the easiest way. Maybe you can get it on the website over at teachbetter.com, but just email. I mean, we're all just our name at teachbetter.com. So Jeff at teachbetter.com, Rae at teachbetter.com, Chad at teachbetter.com. That's the easiest way to do it. Just hit us up. And because, we have things on our site that lay out, okay, here's a basic, pricing structure and stuff. But the fact of the matter is no building, no district is the same as any other one. And your needs certainly aren't as well. So we like to really have the conversations so we figure out, what do you actually need? Like, what are we looking to do? What's the best method for introducing things to your unique and special staff? Like, what's that look like? So best thing is just reach out to us.
That's awesome.
We're super like open and available all the time. Like we're always ready to talk and have conversations. Very easy to reach. So
that's awesome. So what's next for the Teach Better team? We're filming in the winter of 2019. This is going to come out in the spring. What's next?
Rae, you want to share one and I'll share the other of the two big things that we have coming?
Yeah, there's two huge things, but now I'm trying to figure out which one I want to pick to share and which one you're going to pick to share. All right. I'm going book, Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm stealing the thunder. Teach Better team wrote a book. All of us together, Jeff Gargas, myself, Chad Ruszkowski, and Tiffany Ott wrote a book. I'm so excited for it to come out, hopefully around August of this year, called
Awesome.
Teach Better. And it is not just a book. It is chock full of personal stories and tactical approaches to really enhance your classroom and teach better. I cannot believe it's coming out. It's kind of like a dream come true. I get a little gushy when I talk about the book, but we're publishing with Dave Burgess, and we are so excited to start sharing that with everybody. There's some incredible things in that book that I cannot wait for everyone to read.
That's awesome. Can't wait to read it. How about you, Jeff?
I'm super excited about that. Obviously, it's really cool. And a lot of fun. That's been a really fun process. We actually literally today got the schedule. I don't know if Rae, I'll have to forward that to you, the schedule of like all the editing and design process. So I got like really excited again today. So I got to share that with the team so they can get excited too. But we also have something really, we're just like, I guess we decided this year that we're going to set no boundaries for ourselves. And we were just going to go out of just go crazy. We launched a podcast 8 months ago or whatever it's been now. And then we got the book going on. And then in November, we're actually hosting for our first conference.
Wow.
So we're going to be hosting the Teach Better conference on November 8th and 9th in where I am, which is Akron, Ohio. So Northeast Ohio. It's going to be 2 days. We're keeping it small by design to allow and to encourage very intimate experiences to build strong, lifelong, lasting relationships. The website will be launching very, very soon, which is going to open up for proposal submissions and everything like that. So we're going to be accepting proposals for, I think, what are we doing, right? 2 months, and then we're going to be deciding on things. I can't remember what it is. So that's going to be coming out. We'll be launching that probably next week. So I'm super excited about that because it's a lot of fun. We've got, I'm going to go ahead and give it away, Rae, that we've got Dave Burgess coming out for one of the days. And if you don't know this guy, we've got Tall Tal Thompson coming out as well. If you don't know, Tall Tal teaches. He's awesome. So we're super excited. And then, of course, we've got, some folks like Rae Hughart and Chad Ruszkowski speaking and doing sessions. And we're, like I said, we're putting out proposals to get a whole bunch of awesome educators, hopefully from all over, that can come in share their awesomeness. But we're super excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We really think this area really needs something like that. There just isn't a conference like for educators that's really strong, in our opinion, that really cuts through the fluff, as Rae calls it, and gets down to
fluff ain't enough.
Gets to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do some networking stuff. We're gonna do that, but we're really focused on this being. We want them to be able to walk away with just stuff they can really put into place. So we're super excited about that. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm really excited about that. I come from a background of actually putting on events in the music industry and stuff. So like it's been a while. So it's kind of exciting for me to get like a new taste of that as well. And another fun thing. It's definitely a team building activity anytime we do stuff like this. So
good.
We're excited about both of those.
Good. Lots of awesome things coming up. So hey, we talked about a lot of different things happening with the Teach Better team, and now we know about this book that's coming out. We know about this conference that's coming out. The podcast is a great podcast. I enjoyed being on it. I also have enjoyed listening to episodes as well, and I'm continued excited to see what else emerges from you guys as things progress. We are at the point in our show where we're nearing the end, which means it's time for our high fives. These are 5 questions totally unrelated to education, just so that our viewers get to know you a little bit better. Okay?
All right.
How are we gonna? Are you throwing them both at the same time?
So here's what we'll do. We'll make this easy. We had Rae go first with introductions, so we'll let Jeff go first this time and put him on the spot faster. Okay?
Right.
First question. Favorite tropical fruit?
Pineapple.
Oh, I was gonna say mango.
Okay. We just bought. My wife and I just bought mango.
Can I stop for a second, Phil? I'm literally drinking mango juice right now. I said pineapple. Darn it, Rae.
Is it Mighty Mango?
No, it's some organic blend. I don't know. Okay. It's some organic
delicious
thing. It's good, yeah.
Second question: blueberries or strawberries? Going with a fruit.
Strawberries.
Strawberries.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's a basic one, right?
Out of here.
Car, truck, or van?
Car.
Truck.
Truck. Wow, I didn't see that coming. All right.
Nice.
My maiden name's Ford. We're built tough.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
That was an ad for everybody. That was an ad.
Yeah.
What are you getting for that? Jeez.
I know. Jeez. You think they'll let me throw the logo in the show? Whenever
I hope so.
Okay, next one: snow or sand?
Oh, geez, snow. I love snow.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Otherwise, I wouldn't live in Northeast Ohio.
No, Jeff, I'm with you on that one. I'm all,
Don't get me wrong. I love the beach. I love sand, but I love snow. I love it. So,
yeah. All right, last one. I typically try to save the toughest one for last. Cake or cupcake?
Both. To put the cupcake in the cake.
Cupcake.
Is that actually a thing though? Cupcake in a cake?
Phil, if it isn't, it is now in my world.
Yeah, I would like to see that offered. Some culinary classes from the Teach Better team.
I'll tell you what. That's our next thing. We're gonna do culinary classes.
Perfect.
You come out to the conference, Phil, and I will have a cake with a cupcake in it. You have my word.
Sold. Well, hey, listen, I've loved having you both on. I really just enjoy connecting with you on Twitter. I love being on your podcast previously. Before we sign off, I just want to know any final words of wisdom. Jeff, you can go first, and then Rae, if she has anything else.
I think the only thing I have to say is just to anyone who's watching, when you're out there in the trenches, remember that you're not alone. We've got your back. Phil's got your back. There are so many other educators that are going through so many things like you, and you're in a time right now with social media that you can have that tribe, that support system, that's PLN, whatever you want to call it. You're not alone. Reach out and connect with people so you have that support system.
All right.
Jeff, yours was so sweet. Mine was going to be more like, you can go do it, so go do it. There are so many teachers out there that need to go take the plunge, and I don't care where you start. I'd be happy to help, but it is time to be a part of a movement to change education, people. So come join the party.
That's awesome. Well, hey, again, Jeff and Rae, thanks so much for being on. If you are somebody watching the show right now and you want to connect with Jeff or Rae, their Twitter handles are going to be available in the description of the video below, as well as different ways to contact the Teach Better team. If you're watching the show right now and thinking, wow, this is good stuff, I want to keep watching this, go ahead and click the subscribe button at the bottom of the video. Also, if you were a friend or interested in being on Edusations, you can very easily sign up by going to philstrunk.com/contact. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.